going on, man? Eastwood, what's going on? Where you from, man? Winston-Salem, NC. I got family. I had family in Asheville, and I think now I got more family in Raleigh. Winston-Salem, man, there's so much history in Winston-Salem. I remember hearing Dr. Claude Anderson talk about how his family owned a bus company in Raleigh. Keep it positive, Rob from Flint. That's what's happening, man. Team Elite Media, Lansing, by way of Detroit. Man, I used to go to the Odessa Auto Auction in Lansing once a week to get cars from my dad's car lot, man. I mess with Lansing. That's right, the Safe Bus Company. He the one helped me come up with that sketch I got about people arguing with Martin Luther King at a march. Instead of marching to ride the bus, how about we march to own our own bus lines? Shut up. It's crazy. Once Martin Luther King started figuring out what was really going on, then he wasn't around no more. It's crazy, babe. Man, I got a couple little roasts piled up for y'all, man. A few little bullet points. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Rob from Flint, I appreciate you checking out the old shows. Man, I be having such a battle with this podcast sometimes. I really don't want to do them, but it is a chance to consistently write, stay connected with the community. But trust me, this is not my first forte. Yeah, man, that writing process. I was writing a little bit earlier today. I used to go to that Odessa and Flint. There was another auction I used to go to in Mount Morris. So in one day, I would go to Odessa and Flint. Then I would drive over to Mount Morris to that auction and then go back to the lot. Because I think the Odessa and Flint was on a different day. But my Tuesdays was full. Just cut the mic on and go. No podcast, but we should put out the system. Man, I feel that Team Elite Media I feel like everybody has a podcast. I think that's my issue. Like sometimes I get such in a creative mindset where I'm like, man, I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. But also the flip side of that is everybody may not have the same content that you have. You know what I'm saying? Don't call it a podcast, call it a show. I feel that. Are you in Mount Morris, Rob from Flint? You out there in Rio town. I mess with Rio and Louis Ray. It's a show. It's not a podcast. Christian Clayton, what's happening, man? Christian Clayton is the type of dude that his boss sends him to the store to get snacks for everybody and don't give him no money. Christian, we need you to run to the store, man. Pick up everybody some Starbursts and Doritos. We'll catch you next time, man. Go in there and use your credit card, all right? I'm crying. Call it a show. That's what it is. It's a show. It's not a podcast. Yeah, they do. I used to hustle at the gas station. He shot that legendary song. Yeah, man. I mess with Rio. You waiting on a dust storm to pass. Where you at, fam? Mic sound weak, bro. Oh, I'm tripping. Hold on. Yo, check. How that sound? You need a few people on there to banter with. Man, topics of crack. That's true. That's coming soon. Definitely that banter. Decatur, Illinois. We good now? You got a dust storm in Decatur? What's up, Divine Bebop? There we go. Better sound trash. It's better now. I'm tripping. So I was saying, I was roasting Christian Clayton. I said he looked like he the type of dude where his boss sends him to the store to get snacks for everybody and don't give him the money. Charlie using 4 Bibles to sit. I'm crying. Maywood. Did you get time to look up your alien brother Billy Cart? No, I didn't get a chance to look up, dog. I really didn't. Charlie used 4 Bibles to sit his gay way on. Who is that? Ray Smitty 84? Ray Smitty 84, you was afraid to tell your doctor the real reason you had blood in your stool. So Ray, what really happened? Why are you leaking? What's going on, Ray? Ray Smitty. Conquistador, what's going on? Conquistador got a Chrysler 300 with a Rolls Royce grill on it. Charlie got scripture written on all his condoms. Man, Divine Bebop, I'm crying. Divine Bebop get naked before he watch how Stella got her groove back. Conquistador Charlie got fired from Pizza Hut for stealing the sausages. Oh man, I'm crying. Conquistador can't be within 100 feet of a playground since the incident. You better stay away from that playground, man. You know what happened last time. Don't make me call the people. Who else in here, man? Where y'all from? Illinois in the building. North Carolina in the building. The Islamic. Newark, Delaware in the building. G's. The Islamic. The Islamic is the type of dude that asks his doctor to play a Boys to Men song during the prostate exam. Oh, do we go to the end
of the road. Bay Area. Romulus in the building. Geez, what's going on, fam? I've been around the way, man. I just did a dope Cadillac commercial the other day that I'm super grateful for. Things was kind of, things got a little weird during the pandemic, but it's picking back up a bit again. Your boy back out here picking up roles, you know what I'm saying? Phoenix in the building. Charlie beat up his son for wearing Crocs because he thought they were that is something I would do. What you doing with them on? Conquistador spent $300 a week on Ubers talking about he ain't got enough money to pay a car note. It's just convenient, man. Make a call, they pick me up, take me where I need to be, man. I just like the convenience of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to get that paper. Facts, G's. I want to kind of jump right into it. I don't know if y'all saw on the news, rest in peace to the Iranian president. Sad, you know what I'm saying? Somebody asked if the Iranian helicopter incident was staged, and they was like, no, it wasn't staged. It wasn't planned. It wasn't a planned hit. And then all of a sudden, the new Iranian president showed up with a Kobe Bryant jersey on. Man, what y'all trying to tell us, dog? But man had a Kobe jersey on. I'm about to go to an oldie but goodie. Whitney Houston is finally getting a star on the Walk of Fame. The only thing I don't like is where the concrete where they plan on putting Whitney's star is all broken up. And I don't think it's right that they put Whitney's name on cracked rocks. It's not right. Whitney was out here a whole basehead, man. Y'all was blaming Bobby for it. And I didn't know Whitney was on the other side. When I watched the documentary, I was like, they're putting all Whitney's business out here. She was out here chewing on it and was a whole head. That Mamba mentality. Y'all know in LA on the 8th and 24th of every month, lap dances at every gentleman's club is half off. It's Kobe days. And the dancers have the Mamba mentality on the 8th and the 24th. They be out there getting to it. Dancing injured, man. That's the Mamba mentality. Rest in peace, Kobe, though, man. That whole incident, so all of the helicopters in Southern California were grounded that day. The police, firefighters, everybody, because the visibility was so bad. They were all grounded. Why was Kobe's helicopter in the sky? Couple reasons. It could be, the helicopter pilot was so we can get through it. He was maybe afraid of Kobe's stardom, or maybe Kobe was like, man, I got the Mamba mentality. I'm flying anyhow. I'm good. Whatever the case may be, it's sad. But if the police, firefighter, if everybody's grounding their helicopters for the day, why were they in the air? Yeah, Whitney was on that product. Strong product. I don't know what y'all think about the Diddy video. I'm not talking about I'm not making light of this because he looked like a fool running up the hallway with that towel on. Like all of that work, he even kicked somebody with a towel on. Why not put some shorts on if you thought you was going to work? And of course, that was 2016. They can't convict him for it because they already kind of settled out of court, lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. But it's like whoever's leaking these videos, they want Diddy done. Absolutely done. It was sad watching it, but come on, are we really surprised? Are we really surprised? She got 30 million. Of course, there's going to be footage. Dude's a weirdo. And I don't understand. And who's advising, dog? Why are you even coming out with a video apologizing for it? You need to just be silent. We don't want to hear nothing from you, dog. Just be quiet. If you're doing all those things you said you're doing in the video, just doing without telling people. I was effed up, y'all. Saw therapy. God's grace and mercy. No, you putting this out because you're trying to do damage control about your image. Your image is shot. Just change your name again and come out a couple of years later. Do all of that stuff you say you're doing and just come out a couple of years later. Diddler's cooked. Houston in the building. What's up, Damani Jones? Damani Jones is the type of dude who rides around all day picking up scrap metal and only gets $38 for it. Man, what you mean $38? Man, there's a wash machine back there, a steel iron gate. Come on, man. All day long I've been riding around. I wanted to get some food from the Mongolian barbecue spot and some Four Locos, man. $38. Yeah, Diddy's cooked, man. Stop making announcements. But I'm telling you why these people come out and they try to protect their image, because it's John 12:43. It says, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. They still want this praise. That's what they worship, this praise of men. That's why a lot of influencers, stars are afraid to go public and say certain things, even if they believe, because they're afraid, what if the people hate me? Listen, Diddy, we all can't stand you. Nobody likes you right now. Just disappear. Stop making videos. Let it ride out. Go do those things you said you was going to do. Get into therapy. Depend on God's grace and mercy, whatever the case may be. We've all messed up. Look, I'm a huge balance of successes and failures. I may not always have it all together, but for sure, I don't care about the praise and worship of men. Charlie talked with his people about I'm crying. Yeah, man, just disappear, dog. Just disappear. Go work on yourself and resurface. I'm a huge fan of disappearing. I disappear. You see me, I'm gone a year or two. I ain't putting out no content. I ain't making no videos. It ain't nothing to talk about. I'm working on myself. I'm working on myself or my surroundings. My surroundings got to be peaceful. But if you want the praise of men, then you're always trying to be in people's face. Y'all know during the pandemic, I didn't take the jab, and it, you know, me and I tell the story all the time. It wasn't enough information out. I just watched this video with Matt Barnes and this other lady, and they was talking about how there wasn't enough information. They didn't want to take the jab, but they took it anyhow. You're not brave. You brave when you say, no, I'm not taking it. So do whatever you're going to do. Anytime somebody give me an ultimatum, I'm automatically choosing the other one. Like, what you mean? If I do this or else, let's do the what else then. You're not going to back me in no corner in no situation ever in life. I'm a real man. Don't give me no ultimatum. I'm taking option B. You know what I'm saying? So my man's told me if I didn't take the hookup, then he wasn't going to submit me for this audition. Well, then don't submit me, dog. I'm not comfortable. It's not enough information. We need more data, bro. And I've never taken it. I ain't mad at people who did, but don't back me in the corner. So me and him went our separate ways. Blah, 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 blah. I just did a Cadillac commercial last week. I'm talking about a Screen Actors Guild union commercial. Fly commercial. You know what I'm saying? And for a minute, Screen Actors Guild union wouldn't even let you audition for anything unless you had taken that. So it's like, why would I pay my dues then? Y'all not protecting me. I'm in the Screen Actors Guild union. You want me to pay dues, but you won't protect me because I'm making a medical choice. All right, well then I won't pay. I won't pay until y'all get it together, which I didn't during the pandemic. I'm not paying no dues, and you're not even protecting the people who don't want to take the jab. So no, I didn't take it. But praise the Lord. You stay to your word. You stay your ground, you stay solid, it all ends up turning around. Just did a commercial last week. Glory to God. But John 12:43. Yeah, what's 100, Christian Smith? I don't need the praise of men. I want the praise of God. I prayed. He told me not to do it. So I didn't do it. And it cost me a couple dollars, some opportunities, maybe even some friendships, a couple other things. Man, good riddance, bro. I got to stay solid to myself, man. So praise the Lord for the Cadillac commercial. You know what I'm saying? I'm still out here making it happen. I'm still getting paid for how I look. Oh, glory to God, man. But really, it's just God. It ain't got nothing to do with me, man. But I was telling somebody this story the other day. Like, I saw KEL on Shay Shay, which I don't even like saying it as a man. I saw KEL on Shannon Sharp's podcast, and he was talking about how he had somebody on his team. He had married somebody that, you know, wasn't the most optimal for his life and his career at that time. Could totally relate. Years ago, I was in a relationship. I had an audition for Chicago PD, and I was running my dad's car lot at the time. So I get the audition. While I'm at the lot, I look at all the lines. I'm excited about it. And the audition's in 2 days. So I got 2 days to memorize these lines to go to this audition in Chicago. We was in Detroit at the time. So I print out the audition at the car lot. I'm studying the lines while I'm helping people. Study the lines all the next day. And I should have listened to God, because God told me to take that day off the day before to study. And I was so like, I want the money. I went to work and I was tired. And then I got home, and me and the person I was in a relationship with, me and her argued all night. I'm supposed to be studying lines. I'm arguing with her all night long after I got off, arguing till the morning. I'm supposed to have my head space for this audition. I'm supposed to be working on lines, but I'm arguing with her all night and arguing with her all day long. I'm up all night because now I can't concentrate on the lines because I'm thinking about the stuff she said in the argument and what I should have said and blah, blah, blah. I just wasn't in the headspace. So I got to leave at 6 a.m. to go to Chicago for this audition. And it's like fall, winter time. Driving to the audition, and I'm like, I just work on the lines while I'm on the road, which I kind of was. But I hit stop and go traffic when I hit downtown Chicago. I got the heat on in the car. It's probably 40 degrees outside. I got the heat on in the car, stop and go traffic. I fall asleep at the wheel, right? Fall asleep at the wheel, and I hit the car in front of me. Mind you, I'm going 5 miles an hour, but I'm driving a Jag at the time, right? Listen, which for me, that was a mistake. If you can get a luxury car, drive a luxury car kind of local, kind of around the hood. But if you're making everyday runs in a luxury car, people see you in that, they automatically thinking lawsuit or whatever the case may be. But I'm so got to show people I got money. I'm in a Jaguar. I run into this lady's car. She gets out holding her neck. I was going 3 miles an hour. She putting on a super show. I'm like, man, was I going that fast? So I tried to get to audition. I give the lady all my information. I took pictures of my car, took pictures of hers, no dents, no scratches, nothing. Give her my information. I said, listen, when the police show up, just have them call me, but I got to make it to this audition. I go to the audition, and of course, don't know my lines. I'm tired. I'm thinking about this car accident, and I'm thinking about this argument with this woman. I don't get the role. I'm pissed. But not only am I pissed, weeks later, I'm getting stuff in the mail. This lady who I hit doing 3 miles an hour suing me for $25,000. Attorney, and now, you know, I'm on dealer plates. The car lot insurance is, you know, they got to send an attorney. My dad mad at me. He's like, man, I told you not to, why you blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I can't do nothing but be accountable like Dad, because he was telling me, like, you need to drive another car and you take a dealer plate off. And I'm like, I'm just going to shoot to Chicago and come back. And it's just like all these things that I ignored, these red flags. I ignored that I should have took the day off beforehand, right? Shouldn't even have been arguing with girl going down there. Drive the Jag on dealer plates. And it's like, make a long story short, she ended up winning the suit and got $25,000. Of course, the insurance company paid it. Then our insurance went up, and it was just, why am I saying all that, man? Number one, you got to really listen to when God gives you an opportunity to just kind of slow down, to take the best of the opportunity. But also, too, it's like, it's very important to have the best people on your team when opportunities come. You work, you grind. Then you start to get all this shine and opportunities. But if you got terrible people on your team, all that work is for nothing. I was listening to this interview with Drake talk about how his first opportunity wasn't with Baby and Lil Wayne. It was with Dr. Dre. He got somebody flew him to California to meet Dr. Dre from Toronto, and he took a female with him. And he said they argued the whole way there, argued in the hotel room. He goes to meet with Dr. Dre. He ain't in a mental space to meet with him, and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, you know the story. If you don't know the story, he didn't get picked up by Dr. Dre. And then he just kind of it took him a few more years to really get the bag up. And he was like, man, I'll never take somebody with me who we have a contentious situation to an opportunity. Next time he went to go meet Baby and Lil Wayne, he went by himself. You got to have somebody on your team that can move with you, understand you, let you be you, and know when it's time to have a certain conversation or not. Some women don't know when to have a conversation with somebody and when it's time to be quiet because they don't know how to behave around men. A woman who is not raised around a strong man consistently has no idea when it's time to just leave that man alone and let him, you know what I'm saying? But if you're married to a woman and her mama raised her, you know what I'm saying, or her mama ran her daddy away, and it ain't no men around for her to even know how to behave, you're going to have a hard time when an opportunity shows up because I guarantee you when a bag is on the table, when opportunity show up, she going to start an argument with you, especially see evil. That's what KEL was talking about. He was like, man, I missed out on these opportunities. You had an evil broad on your team, man. I was in a relationship a little while ago where I remember my mama called me and told me, she said, you know, your ex is on the news for unaliving her new husband. I was like, what? So I look, sure enough. And I mean, I heard God immediately, you need to make a video about this right now. Talk about your side of the story. Because a lot of people thought it was cap that I was married to somebody who tried to unalive me, you know, and all that whole situation. And she only did 3 years in prison and got out. Some people, he's cap, he's lying, he's a woman beater, and just all this weird narrative of people trying to guess. So I was like, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to produce a receipt. This woman who tried to unalive me years ago actually succeeded in doing that with her new relationship. So I'm working to try to put this video out, and this person I'm in a relationship with, she's just trying to argue with me every step of the way, giving me all these issues. The house was so chaotic. I was like, oh my God, man, this reminds me of going to Chicago to the audition. I got to be done. I don't want this. Here I am as a man trying to put together a play, and you can't see that I'm busy. You trying to start an argument with me? Of course, it's a woman who wasn't raised around a man. So of course, I'm done. I'm done with this. Take care of yourself. I'm not. Everybody can't go to Destiny with you, dog. Watch the Joe Rogan. Man, I watched that Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard is out of his mind. Terrence Howard, I don't know if y'all know the story or not, but I auditioned for Empire. And I wasn't doing nothing fruit. It was a straight role. And of course, you know, when you audition for something, it goes from like 20 actors to 10 to 5 and then 2. I got down to the 2. It's me and somebody else. I go in for this audition, I know I'm prepared for, and I know I'm crushing it. And I go in there and I crushed the audition. And it was me and another actor who is also from Detroit, who I know, but we look different. He's darker skinned, a little smaller than me. Great actor, though. So we go in. I know I kill it. I don't get the part. And I talk to my agent like, man, just be 100. What happened? She was like, Terrence made the choice. Then when I looked at the scene, it was a fight scene in a trailer, and Terrence won the fight. But he picked Dog because he was smaller, looked different. I'm bigger than Terrence. He didn't want me. And that's the nature of the game. Sometimes you don't get roles for just one call. Terrence made a call, didn't want me in the show. It's fine. Terrence Howard is insane, though. Mathematically, he was on point, though. Some of the stuff he was saying mathematically, I agree with. But some of the stuff, he was just... I like what he said, too, about how he detoxes himself. And he's 55 years old, and he was on a timer, on a detox timer. You know what I'm saying? So, what you talking about, Shawnee? Shut that mouth and go cook. Charlie got baptized in East Point at the short stay on Gratiot and 8. 100% Podcast is from the city. 100% Podcast, he the news interviewed 100% Podcast and told him how brave he was for surviving for surviving that leap off the Golden Gate Bridge. Dog tried to unalive himself and take that leap. He survived, and now everybody's calling him brave. Oh, dog. What's the name of that book for getting into writing a show? It's called The Comedy Bible. Charlie gonna bring back the mannequin wearing seatbelt in his caddy commercials. Damani Jones crying. Damani Jones got a Michael Sam jersey that button up between the legs. Man, this is a collector's item, man. Do you know Obama called Michael Sam the day he got drafted? Man, he got railroaded, man. And that means two things. Charlie lost his hair from taking too many testosterone pills. Who was that? Conquistador had a fake Terror Squad chain back in 1997. Man, Big Pun gave me this personally because we the same size, man. 5'8", 470, but I'm working on it, man. Yeah. Charlie only wear tank tops to show his areola. Man, what? Christian Smith got arrested after he Googled how long does it take a body to decompose. Man, we've been monitoring your browser history, Christian Smith. You've been Googling some very interesting things, man. What's going on with you, man? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, be careful the type of people you pick. These relationships. That's right. Got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Proverbs 21 says it's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a fault-finding, quarrelsome woman. It's tough, man. KEL was married to an evil woman, and it cost him some opportunities, man. Some sanity. He said his wife was out here getting hit, getting pregnant by other dudes. Like, what took you so long to get? That's what I don't understand about people in relationships that clearly ain't working. What's taking you so long to leave, dog? What are you doing? You missed out on the Saturday Night Live audition. Everything you put in your hands to falling apart. Now you drinking every other day, and you holding on to that, bro. Be humble. What's popping? That's right. Don't be sorry. Ho. Be careful. Queenie Dion, you know what time it is, man. You was raised around two parents, man. Sometimes I feel like, not all cases, because when a woman has a great relationship with God, then sees God as her father, they're not going to understand. But there's a certain type of way a woman behaves when she grows up around a man. Why are you starting an argument with a man when he got $1 million bag possibly on the table? You started an argument with him the night before? Charlie's best friend is Polish. A conquistador got a 93 Explorer in his backyard right now that he's just waiting to put a trans in it. Man, as soon as them prices go down, man, I'm going to get that trans rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be good to go. Engineering your life is key, man. Look, I'm a huge balance of successes and failures. I done jacked up so many times. It's so funny when people come to me and ask me, like, how you get on that show or how did that happen or blah, blah, blah. I'm also thinking about how much I messed up leading to that opportunity. I ain't nobody special, man. Raised by a pimp and a queen, 100%. 1,000%. You was raised with both of your parents it's just certain. I just don't understand why somebody would start an argument with somebody right before a bag is on the table. And then when we engineer our life, like I know people who like 50, 60, 70 years old, been married 20, 30 years, and all they doing is complaining. And it's like the older you get, your pickings is getting slim. Like, why you either pray about that situation, give it to God and believe him to make the change, or get out of it while you still young, man. I understand, I know it. I'm just saying, if you're complaining about it consistently, you need to just shut up if you're gonna stay in it. It's always leery when people complaining about, like, why would I complain about somebody that I picked? Out of all of my failed relationships, those are the ones that I picked. I can't be mad at these people. I picked wrong. Let me get out of it while I'm still beautiful, still attractive, got my wits about me. Let me get out of it, do some healing, get back on the block, and just pick better, knowing what I know now. Why am I complain? Complaining about a relationship that you're still in is one of the dumbest things on the planet. Ryan Jones, what's going on, man? Men want respect, women want love. I say that all the time. You can tell a man you love him all day, but if he don't feel respect, you got to feel it. I need to feel respect. Women want love. You disrespecting that man by dogging him behind his back, clowning him in public. Just like, that's the type of stuff that'll make a man be like, all right, okay. Charlie plays flashlight on the walkout of his auditions. Man, let me tell you about this Chicago PD audition that I had. So, I had that one audition. I didn't get it. I didn't think it was going to come back around, but God is faithful. He'll return opportunities to you to allow you to do it right the next time if you stay faithful. So I get another audition for Chicago PD. This one is right with the director. And do y'all know the dude that played the Soul Glow dude from Coming to America? His name is Eric LaSalle. Eric LaSalle works very closely on Chicago PD. Now he produces some episodes, he directs. So in this specific episode, he was a director. No, he was a producer of this episode. I had a audition with him, two other people. I didn't even have to do an audition and a callback and all that. It was directly with Eric LaSalle and the director and the team. It was one audition. And I worked with my homeboy's name is Henri Franklin. We worked for about 2 or 3 hours, did some scene work. He gave me some line, gave me some pointers, blah, 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 because he had booked a couple roles already. So he gave me some game. I go into this audition. He said, you got to have a start and a stop when you go into this audition room. He said, your start can be something like you flick a cigarette. And your stop, you got to do something to start and close out the scene. So I do that in every audition now. I don't even know if y'all gonna need this information if you plan on auditioning for a TV show or not. But amongst all my peers, most of my peers, I've booked the most TV shows and films. Not more than Henri Franklin. Henri Franklin, he gave me the game. But that's why I was like, dog, you booking all these roles, give me some game. But the majority of people, they haven't booked as many TV shows and commercials and film. But he gave me a pointer that I use all the time. You got to have a start and a stop. So when I started the scene, I don't know what I did. I don't know if I faked like I fired up a cigarette or something. And then I brought them into my world. And I did the scene. And then right at the tail end, I did something to close it out. Like I closed my phone or something. And at the end of the audition, I walked out the room and slammed the door. And I stood in the hallway. And they was like, where'd Charlie go? Charlie! And I just didn't say nothing. I just stood out there. Oh my God, I think he left. What the hell? Charlie! I stayed out in the hallway. I didn't go back in. I let him call me 3 times and I went back in, and everybody's face was lit up. Then a lot of times during audition, they just want to see if you can do if you can take direction. So they'll ask you to do it a different way, which they did. They asked me to do it a different way. And they was like, all right, we'll be in touch. And I left. And mind you, I was 3 hours late to this audition because my Uber driver got lost in Chicago, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. even though I was 3 hours late. So I still went in. And I know I walked out of there knowing I crushed it. And when I was getting on the plane, because I was flying back to LA, before I got on the plane, my agent called me and said, "Charlie, congratulations, you got the role." And I'm talking about tears flowing down my eyes because I'm remembering the first audition when I had an argument with this woman on the way to the audition. I'm remembering the $25,000 lawsuit, the accident, everything that took place, and this moment of redemption in the airport. All I could do is cry, man. I'm like, wow, God, you love me that much that even though I've jacked up so much, I've made so many mistakes, you gave me another shot and I nailed it the first time out, man. I'm like, I had to go to the bathroom and put some tissue on my eyes. Like, wow, God, great part. I played a coach on Chicago PD. You know, Marcus Bradley was a few scenes. It was, man, and I went there and I crushed it on the day of too because I was prepared. I was rested. Wasn't arguing with nobody beforehand. You know what I'm saying? It's I had Eric LaSalle is your uncle. Hey man, he's a good dude, man. Good dude. Gave me a shot. He structured the audition to where I didn't even have to do 2 or 3 auditions to get the part. He gave me one audition. One. I went in there and crushed it. That's why I don't like 5 or 6. Why do you need 5 or 6 auditions? I did one audition for a major network TV show and crushed it. And then I was there for like 2 days shooting my scenes. You don't need 12 auditions, man. It's stupid. Evan in the building. What's going on, man? Evan asked for George Michael father figure to be played while he's in there getting a colonoscopy. Wait. Before you start, man, I got a playlist. Can you put these songs on before you go into my donut, please? Yeah, Eric LaSalle's good people, man. If you talk to him, man, tell him Charlie Newhart said thank you for the opportunity on Chicago PD, man. If he's still there, I don't even know if he's still there or not. Everybody move around so much, but yeah, Eric LaSalle's a good dude, man. He just strikes me as the type of person that wants to give people opportunities. One audition. The weird thing about this industry, even in the internet podcasting world and TV commercials, like people gatekeep. It's weird. Like I just showed my homegirl everything she needs to like have a fairly decent podcast. I don't know everything. I showed her what I know about lighting, sound, camera, everything. Gave her the game. She was like, "Why are you being so nice to me?" I was like, "Because I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just gonna give it to you. I don't own or control people or own or control any of this content. You know what I'm saying? Not content, but own or control any of this process. If you interested in doing a podcast, I'll give you the game." Looking like a metrosexual physical therapist, I'm crying. Any more tips on getting into acting and comedy? Man, I would just say write every day. I used to do stand-up in my living room in front of an invisible audience. Microphone, just even a loudspeaker. Get a loudspeaker, connect it, microphone, fake, and just an imaginary audience, and just write your jokes and just write all the time. Write, rehearse, write, and then you know, start hitting some open mics. And maybe take some acting class. Look, I didn't go to school for any of this, dog. I didn't graduate college. I don't have a theater degree. I didn't go to, I've always loved to act silly. And then when I found out you can get some money for it, I was like, okay, well then I took a couple acting classes here and there. I just got out and did it. See No Evil album. See No Evil got an album coming out, man. It's got a lot of dope cameos on it, man. He's doing one with George Clinton called "You Can't See Me." Dog. Conquistador has his windshield wipers don't work on his car, so he got Rain-X on his windshield. Dog. Yeah, man. So shout out to the Chicago PD audition, man. I was super grateful for that and booking that part. Some people want to absolve you. What was your first acting gig? Man, the first time I ever really acted in anything, my mom, I got diagnosed with cancer at age 15. I had to stop playing all sports. And I know my mom had to hear from God because after I stopped playing sports, while I was on chemotherapy, she wrote a play at our church and made me one of the comedic characters in the play. And I acted in it and fell in love with it. At age 16, I've been doing it ever since. That was like my first acting gig. Then I did a little stand-up. I remember during Spirit Week at Romulus High School, they had one day was a comedy day. And I remember each class got somebody that could represent them. And I represented the seniors. And I stood on the lunch tables in the lunchroom and just roasted everybody in the audience. And I won. I beat every other class. And I was like, oh, there's something to this. But being funny in school is totally different than being funny on stage, man. I bombed like a bug in the beginning. Like all that stuff that was working in high school wasn't working on stage. I'd never forget I was at Coco's House of Comedy a few years after I graduated. And I told a joke. It went over fairly well. I tried to get to another joke. And now at this particular comedy club, it was on Jefferson, right near Belle Isle, back in the day. I told this joke, and I took too long to get to the second joke. At this club, they shake their keys at you if they don't like you. Told the joke, took too long, and I locked eyes with this big black chick on the front row, and I watched her reach in her purse and grab her keys. And before I could get to the joke, she started shaking her keys, and then it was everybody in the audience shaking their keys. And at that moment, you're supposed to put the mic in the stand and walk off. And I'm trying to get to the joke and trying to make, and all of a sudden, this dude in the back just fried me. He said, "Get your whore off the stage." That was it. And then I retired from comedy for about 5 years. Yeah, they got me up out of there, man. Stopped acting. I stopped doing comedy and all of that. But after that, I started writing and doing my own plays for a while. Those took off. Those are fairly cool. But my first professional acting gig, I booked a commercial. I booked a 5-hour energy commercial like 11 years ago. 12 years ago. Like 12 years ago. Charlie got 10 pounds of lotion on. I remember you was thug number 2 in Chicago. Man, I ain't never been no thug. Never. I was on Chicago Fire. I played a police officer who just said 2 words, "Sit here." And then on Chicago PD, I played Marcus Bradley. I had a fairly decent part on there. Wait, I got so many damn keys. Man, look, they fried me, Carlos. They straight up fried me, man. But that was a learning experience. Now I could care less, man. What I've learned now, you got to go on stage with a bunch of material, not just your set, because the audience may not feel that set. You got to go to something else. And you got to have some roasts available. You got to cook a couple people, especially in Detroit. You got to, my man right here, man, looking like you got to be prepared for every piece. How'd you overcome the fear of failing from the bomb at Coco's? Man, it took a while. I took the buyout from Ford and started selling life insurance and renter's insurance for United Insurance in Southfield. And I was in and out of people's houses. And I worked, the insurance company was in Southfield, but I had an area in Brightmoor in Detroit. And I had to go in and out of people's houses and collect the insurance payment. And then I also did renter's insurance. So I started doing these seminars at these apartment buildings in Brightmoor. And when I'm doing the seminars, I'm cracking jokes and people laughing. And I'm like, man, I was like the number 1 salesman in the office for life insurance and renter's insurance, but mostly because I was doing these seminars, making people laugh. And then afterwards, they was lining up getting insurance. And I was like, dang, man, maybe I should. In like 2009, 2010, I jumped back in the comedy game, but I went to Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle and took a comedy class in Royal Oak. I learned how to structure a joke, how to do everything. And then I started doing open mics. Man, for real. I ain't afraid to admit, man, I've bombed several times trying new stuff, not being able to read the room, knowing your area. Like when you're in California, there's certain jokes that this no matter, they not rolling. The material is too sensitive, depending on the room. That's why I love doing Laugh Factory Long Beach, because Long Beach was just is raw, it was gutter. We was, you know, but I was talking earlier how you got to just be careful about who you pick, especially if you're in the world of entertainment, not just entertainment. You in the world of business, you're an entrepreneur, you in the world of entertainment. You got to be careful the type of people you have on your team that are close to you, because if you got a big audition right before the audition, if you got somebody terrible on your team, they may start an argument with you. You got a big business meeting right before you got this business meeting where it's millions of dollars on the table. You got somebody on your team that's going to start some mess with you. It's like you got to be careful. You you got to be careful being around people who they want you to absolve them from the consequences of their choices. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful when you in a situation with somebody who wants you to take responsibility for their actions, and also if they don't want to be accountable for what they've done. You grew up over there, went to elementary, Bird Road, Brightmore. Man, let me tell you how they tried to do me. I'm gonna get back to this. Let me tell you how they tried to do me in Brightmore one day. At any given time, I got to collect $15,000 of insurance premium, because at the time I'm dealing with people who got 5, 6, 7. I'm dealing with people who got life insurance in the hood, life insurance and renter's insurance. They probably got a $7,000 life insurance policy just to pay for them to get buried, and they got a renter's insurance policy on their house. So they're probably paying $25 a month. But at any given time, I'm collecting money and signing up new people to get insurance over in Brightmore. At any given time, I probably got $2,500 on me. I remember I had about 2 bands on me one day, and I was riding up Finkel. It was a bunch of garbage cans pushed in the street. I'm riding up Finkel, and I'm looking at all these garbage cans, and I'm like, man, ain't no way I'm getting out and moving these. I know what it is because it was just before dark. I said, let me just drive around. I bumped one, drove around. And in the process of doing that, I look over to the right. It's somebody, he acting like he on the phone at a payphone booth, but it's no phone there. He just got his hand up to his face. And there was another dude acting like, you know what I'm saying? He was just kind of looking around or whatever. I was like, oh, this is a gravy little setup, man. They about to bop somebody upside the head. Soon as somebody get out, move these garbage cans, bop, bop. See, no, let me just drive around these boys, man. Burt 96, I know exactly where you at. All them wood frame houses over there and empty lots. They had all the garbage cans in the street. They was trying to knock me upside the head, man. Mandatory to have a pair of buffs in your household in Detroit. I got a pair of yays, man. I got some wires. It's funny. Everybody want to wear them and look at them. Are those real? Let me wear these. Let me wear these. I like my wires, man. Buffs was a little bit more than what I was willing to pay, but I got me a pair of wire yays, man. 1,000%. So, yeah, be careful being with people who refuse to be accountable. That's the most frustrating thing in the world, when you tell somebody they did something to hurt your feelings or something they don't like, and they're like, well, what'd you do? They don't want to just take accountability for it. That's tough. Super tough. But I think one of the reasons that I'm gonna just be transparent here, man. One of the reasons why I'm so big on loyalty now, why I don't mind taking a stand for certain things, even if it's not the most popular opinion. I think the reason that I have that mindset now is because I jacked up so much. I made so many decisions trying to get money. I blew some relationships. I was wrong in some situations, just trying to go after a bag because I was greedy. I'm talking about from like age 17 to about 25. I had my hand in everything imaginable, man. Scams, hustling. Because in my mind, I'm like, I want all the money because I want to buy these cars, buy this jewelry. I want everything. So I'm willing to do what it takes to get this bag. Right? I remember I used to hustle with my cousin. Me and him would buy some bags and split them. But I'm noticing I'm getting rid of mine before he getting rid of his. And I'm on him about it, like, bro, what's, now we got to go get this. And I'm getting rid of mine before he getting rid of his. And I mean, when I tell you, I just went and undercut dog just because he was moving slow. Went and talked to my man, like, man, don't give him, this just gonna be me now. Completely cut him out, didn't tell him why. You know what I'm saying? I look back on that like, man, why didn't I just holler at dog, or just like, I remember we didn't talk a little bit after that too. Like, why didn't I just wait? Now this way long time ago. I'm talking about mid 90s. You know what I'm saying? Just dogged him out of the deal. Or again, years later, I'm writing a gospel play, and it's getting me. I wrote the play. My homeboy he directed it. My other homeboy did the music, and we had a production company called Firstborn Entertainment because we was all firstborn. And I'm talking about, we was just doing this play. It was called Ain't No Stopping Us. It was like one of them Tyler Perry joints, only the men didn't wear dresses, right? So we doing this play, and then I remember we walked out one day and the whole church was packed. It was sold out. And I was like, dang, man, they like this show. So we started selling out over and over again, packing out the church right on 7 Mile. And one of my homeboys came up to me at the play. He said, man, you ever thought about somebody investing to take the play to a bigger stage? I was like, yeah, who? He said, me. And make a long story short, he gave me 10 bands. And he put up 10 bands, and we took the play to a larger scale, college campuses, Millennium Theater in Southfield. And man, I got a hold of that money and just completely got arrogant. You know what I'm saying? So when the team asked me about it, what steps we was going to take, I was like, I'm working on it. I'm putting it all together. Like I took it all for myself. I didn't take none of the money, but I'm saying I took the responsibility, and I started acting like I had did it on my own. So I got this little bag, and I just started acting like it's my show. I put myself in the flyer on the front, and I'm just kind of, yeah, they just do this on the side. They just write music and direct. They ain't really nobody. I'm the writer. I'm the star. I made it all about myself. And not only that, at the time, I'm promoting. I go to, man, what was the name of that bar downtown? I'm going to the club drunk with 20 people with me promoting the gospel play. I'm talking about ready to knock somebody's head off. And I start hustling again, too, at the same time. So I'm hustling at the club drunk with 20 people promoting a gospel play. And then I'm just completely pushing my partners to the side. Man, I got this. I got the bag, push them to the side. And, of course, you know the rest of the story. The whole thing fall apart. The Millennium show didn't sell out. We lost money. Fell out with my homies. They stopped talking to me. And I'm like, see, I got a hold of that money. Money don't change you. It reveals you. So the reason I can see it on other people now is because I did it. And I'm telling you, man, I'm a balance of successes and failures. Now, again, I ain't condemnation about it, but it is what it is. It's something I did. Then I remember another situation where me and my brother and my cousin formed a LLC called Vereen Investments. And we was like stacking up money to buy a house, to buy a rental property. Our goal was to buy a whole bunch of rental properties. We stacking up money, we talking, we having meetings, and all of a sudden an opportunity comes across the table to get a house on the east side. I get the house, completely excluding them out the deal. I was a dirtbag. Nah, man, I'm straight. I'm gonna get this on my own. And they're like, hey man, we was working together. I'm like, yeah, but that didn't work. I'm gonna get this house on my own. So I got the house, got like 15,000 at closing, put a renter in it, and just completely just put that whole deal to the side. I was out of my mind. This was years ago. Money is a mirror. Facts. I'm working with them. We working to get the house. Then the deal shows itself on the table. I just exclude them. Give me the house. Then I talked to my auntie the other day. She reminded me about this story. Then another time, my cousin got locked up, right? And they needed money to bail him out. So my auntie brought over 2 of his cars. Hey, sell these cars for me. I need some money together. Put some money together to put on his books to get him out. She bring the cars over. I sell the cars. I sell this years ago. I sell the cars. I don't give her the bag. I buy more cars and I start hustling. She like, what happened to the cars? And I'm like, I ain't sold them yet. So I use the money to buy more cars, and I'm hustling and hustling. She like, where's the money? And then I think instead of giving her money, I gave her part of the money and another car. I did something. I was tripping. Straight up tripping. Greedy, willing to do whatever it takes for the bag. And God humbled me. Because in 2006, I had a pain in my body that no doctor could explain. I'm talking about bent over. It felt like somebody had kicked me in my stomach, my ribs, my groin. And every doctor I went to, they couldn't explain. Nobody could explain. I dealt with that for like a year. Urinary tract infection. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, God, what's the deal? But in that time, he humbled me because I had done so many people wrong up to that point. And come to find out, I was having a side effect. I had gotten a vasectomy, but I got like clips put on. I didn't get my ends burnt, and I was having complications from the vasectomy. You know what I'm saying? And I got the I paid the money to get the vasectomy reversal. Blah blah blah. That's why I ended up having more kids. But that pain, I fasted for 3 years from 2007 to 2010. I didn't watch no TV, no rated R movies, and I didn't listen to no radio. I just like wholeheartedly went after God. I joined a church. I said, man, I can't keep, I've been doing people wrong for so long and getting away with it. I hate how it feels, man. Like I'm disappointing all these people and frying all these relationships. And at some point, it just all kind of caught up with me. And I was like, God, I just need you to change me. I need you to change me because I'm the type of person that's willing to do whatever it takes to get the money. I'm frying these relationships. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can have jewelry and cars and all this. God changed me. And literally, I got hit with that pain. I did 3 years where I just fasted and went to church and just read the word, and God completely changed me. Now, again, I look back on that to learn. I ain't looking back on it beating myself up because Philippians 3:12-14 says, I do not count myself to have apprehended. But one thing I do is forgetting those things that are behind and reach forward ahead. So I'm only recalling it for the sake of this story and to look at it as a learning lesson for myself. But I'm not dwelling on it all like, man, I wish I wouldn't have did that. I had to learn. But that's why when I'm in situations, not because we reap what we sow. Right? We reap what we sow. Now, I've been in situations where people get an opportunity or a bag or something, and I've been participating and helping them, and they be push me to the side. I can laugh about it now because I'm like, okay, we reap what we sow. I've been in situations where I be, partnering with somebody on a project. We work together, and then when the bag come, they take the opportunity. And I'm like, I don't even get mad because see, now I don't look at things emotionally now. I look at them theologically. I look at them through the lens of the Bible. Okay, we reap what we sow. I played all these people for a bag. I played all these people for money, for opportunity, for some shine. Okay, I deserve this. I take it in stride. I take it on the chin because it's like I'm a balance of successes and failures. But just because I miss out on one opportunity don't mean another one's going to happen. I missed out on the first Chicago PD audition, arguing with somebody, blah, blah, blah. I get another audition and book it. And the second audition was better than the first. But, I ain't mad about people getting a bag on a project that I'm a part of and they don't give me none because I did the same thing to people 15, 20 years ago. Same thing. And even though I'm a different person now, but that's why I'm more about loyalty and picking right. Because I mean, I've jacked up so much, man, and I ain't afraid to share it. You know what I'm saying? But when I see people do it, when I see people do it, it's loud. Like T Grizzly. I like some of T Grizzly's music. When he got out, he made a song called First Day Out that went crazy. Everybody was talking about it. And he was naming all these people. Hey, JR, he naming all these people that he's cool with in the song. He gets a deal and then completely excludes all the people that he mentioned in the song. He mentioned JR's name and then don't even help him get a deal. And I was like, I'm looking at that. And I think the reason that it kind of made me upset, because I'm like, dang, I remember doing something similar. Getting a deal, excluding people. All the people that was a part of you on making it, mentioning their names, get a deal and be like, nah, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm not gonna bring them. I'm not gonna bring them with me. It was crazy. Well, I did that. I definitely did that. And I've learned from it. And I'll never do it again. I love when I read about Red Fox. He had a deal for his TV show on network TV. And he's sitting down with the producers and the TV show people, and they all talking about everything. He was just like, well, I want the one who played Esther. I forgot her name. But he wanted her to play in the show. And it was like, we got to exclude her. We don't want her in the show. He stood up from the meeting like, she's my friend. If she's not in the show, we're not doing the show. How many people going to stand up for their friend when the bag is on the table right now? Network TV show opportunity. He stood up and said, we're not doing the show unless she's in it. What's her name? I'm like, that's the type of person I am now, which is why things happen in season. Now, I can't, if I would have got the bag when I was 25, I'd have been a hoe. Nah, Esther Roll was on Good Times. Her name was something Page, the actress from Sanford and Son. LaWanda Page. LaWanda Page was Red Fox's best friend in comedy. Was his best friend in comedy. And they had came up together. So when he got this TV show, I'm pretty sure he probably made a deal with her. I get a bag, I'm bringing you with me. So he gets the show. He said, I want LaWanda Page to play Esther. So he got the show. They said they didn't want LaWanda Page. He said either she's in it or we, like how many people gonna do that now, man? You know how many people they willing to do whatever just to be viral? Just for a bag? I can't stand doing podcasts, dog. That's why I be starting and stopping. I'm not doing any of this for the fame of it, bro. I love the community, chopping it with y'all, but honestly, I just love to create art and have fun. That's why I be doing so many silly videos. But when you add the commerce to the art, that's when it can get weird. They did do stand up together, Carolina One. They did stand up. They was like a group for a while, like a duo. But why would you not bring? Well, I do know why, because I did the same thing. When you greedy, when you want all the money, you willing to exclude the people who helped you get it. And I've been there. I did it several times. I was out of my mind. But then once God changed me, now that I'm in it now, like anybody that I'm with on the way there, why not? That's why I didn't mind when somebody want to see the studio, the setup, the lights and all that. I don't mind. I'll send you all the links. One of my homeboys, he asked me the other day, he said, man, because I told him I had just booked this Cadillac commercial. He said, man, me and my girl, our kids, we want to get them in acting. I sent him the link. Here you go. Reach out to him. I'm not going to gatekeep. Charlie feels slighted when he sees white people with curly hair. Conquistador is his job always asks him to do like inappropriate stuff when ain't nobody else is around, because he's like cool. He's the cool black person. Like, hey, nobody else is around, Conquistador. Can we call you the N-word? Is that okay? Oh man. Hey, can we send you to the store to get us all some 40s? We just kind of want to have a boys in the hood moment, if that's okay. Can you run to the store for us, Conquistador? If you don't mind. You're such a good kid. You're amazing. I think it's also think too, it's dangerous if your identity is caught up in things outside of yourself. Like who you are and what you do is two totally different things. If a soldier says, if a guy's in the army, he was like, I'm a good soldier, I'm a good soldier. What happens when you're taken out of service? You know what I'm saying? If somebody's in the NBA, this will happen a lot of times with some of these sports players. And that's why it's a million sports podcasts now. Somebody's in the NBA, they defining themselves as an NBA player. What happened how do you define yourself when you retire? Same with NFL. We got to stop being caught up in the identity of what it is that we do. And I got pulled from that. Like I used to always identify myself as a father. I'm a father. I'm a father. I'm a father, man. I'm a great dad. I've been raising my kids. You know, became a father when I was 18. I got custody of my two daughters when I was 21. You know what I'm saying? I was raising two little girls, and I got custody of my son when I was 23. Like, I'm a father. I'm a father. I identified myself as a father. And then all of a sudden, in 2009, I whooped one of my kids. Somebody called protective services on me, and all my kids was taken out of the house. Now, here's this identity I've had with identifying myself as a father. It's taken from me, and I was shattered. You got to be careful what you identify as. What you identify, not identify as. You got to be careful what you attach your identity to. You know what I'm saying? Because then, years later, I started my identity was I'm in church, going to church. I'm an armor bearer at my church. I was at Detroit World Outreach in Redford. I'm an armor bearer here. I'm in church all the time. You know what I'm saying? I am a Christian. I'm going to church. I'm trying to be there damn near all the time when the doors is open. My identity is in that now. And I'm talking about at first I wasn't pursuing acting and comedy like that and then but most of my agenda, most of my focus was I'm identifying myself in this lens of a Christian that goes to church 2-3 times a week. And I'm trying to convince everybody to come with me too. And I'm doing my best to try to live right, but I also kind of got some dirtbaggery ways too. But that's my whole focus. And then all of a sudden, 2017, the pastor passes away. The church goes crazy. They don't want his wife to be the pastor. They have her arrested in the pulpit. And I'm watching all of these people that I've been going to church with for 12, 13 years lose their mind. Because also they have their identity and their positions. I'm an elder. I'm a minister. And some of them had paychecks attached to these identities. And the identities felt threatened because the pastor's wife, the pastor who passed away, his wife is probably going to reconstructure all of these positions because most of them was fake. And I'm watching all of these people who I thought I knew, all these people who I thought were friends, who I thought had a great relationship with God. I'm watching them all fight for positions and basically turn on themselves. And I'm like, my whole identity in that was completely gone. Now, my identity is I'm a child of God. I'm defining myself by the word, not a building, or not how a man sees me, or not even these relationships in church. Church is like a hospital sometimes. I do believe in assembling yourself. You should go at least twice a week and get around fellow believers. But I'm not defining myself about being in a church 4 times a week and being around some of these people. Because everybody, church is like a hospital. Some of these people hurting, man. They need to be healed. Then last time I was really identifying myself with something is like once I start booking all these roles and TV shows and commercials, and I moved to Cali in 2017, and I moved in this $1 million house, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm an actor, comedian. I live in California, Southern California. As a matter of fact, my house is worth $1 million. Yeah, man. I got my own show, Laugh Factory Long Beach. It's great. Come check it out. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I just did Star Trek. Picard. Had to go over to Santa Barbara. I had to go to Santa Rosa to film that. Yeah, man. It's cool, man. Yeah, doing YouTube videos and stuff too, man. Yeah, man. So I'm on a podcast now, a couple podcasts and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden 2020 comes and all of that gets shut down. My livelihood, stand-up comedy, acting, all of that is like no more auditions unless you take you want to be. I got an Apple audition. I got an audition for you for our Apple TV show, Charlie. But I can't send you over unless producers don't want you on set unless you. Like this whole way I've identified myself, man, just completely shut down. I was working part-time at a dealership in Santa Monica. Those doors closed. All these things I've identified myself as just door just completely closed. Now I got to redefine myself. How? Start doing YouTube videos. And then I just define myself as now I'm someone who, instead of saying, defining myself by being an actor or a comedian, now I say I'm just somebody who loves to create art and be a part of when art is created. Now that don't matter what room I'm in. I just love to create art. I can't, sell myself short to just go get a couple dollars. Now I'm defined as I'm somebody who loves to create art. When it comes to my kids, I can't define myself as only being a father. I'm just somebody who tries to do the right thing by my children when they're around me, trying to raise them to be the best human beings they can be. But I'm not defining myself as my whole identity as my dad. I'm a father. And when it comes to church, I'm not identifying myself as somebody that's in church 6 days a week. And, I'm judging everybody I cross paths with. I'm just somebody, I love God. I just want to know God and make him known, however that is. See, we can make God known by just being friendly to somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can make God known by just giving somebody an encouraging word. Hey, man, good work, blah, blah, blah. I want to know God and make him known. That's what I'm identifying myself as. I'm not identified as somebody who go to church 6 days a week. Charlie on some real, if you need any flyers, design your graphic designer, brother. Oh man, I'm gonna send you my email, bro. I do need the graphic design, fam. I was just thinking, like, I need some thumbnails for my YouTube channel. Man, I show love 100%. I'm bringing my book back too, man. I Am Dirtbag. Yeah, let's lock in Conquistador 1000. I'm bringing back I am Dirtbag. I'm gonna put it on my website this week. So if y'all want to download the ebook, I took it down for a while because I was like trying to go with this. I don't know what I was thinking, man. And I got all these people hit me up like, "Where's the book? I want to get the book." Like, so this is what I became defined as during the pandemic. I'm not an actor, comedian. I'm somebody who loves to create art. I wrote a book, and I published it myself. The first book, I Love Myself, I published it through Zulan Publishing, and they took care of me. They put me together. They got my publishing and all this other stuff. So when you see that on Amazon, I ain't getting none of that money. They reproducing the book, and I signed a bold deal. I ain't gonna lie. I signed a TLC deal on my book. So I'm gonna put the book up on my website soon this week, as a matter of fact. And just be careful what you put your identity in, man. Now I'm somebody who loves to create art. I wrote a book. I started doing YouTube videos and having a blast. Then I was doing a podcast for a while, a couple podcasts. I started having fun on those, and then some videos started going viral. I was like, oh, okay. God blessing the work of my hands. I can be successful and productive in the world of stand-up comedy, TV, and film. I can also be productive and have levels of success in this internet world. Whatever I put in my hands to, God is blessing. So I'm grateful for that. 1000%. Yeah. So I do want to say in closing that I think the Tom Brady roast was one of the best I've ever seen. Tony Hinchcliffe murked everybody. And I was on the Tony podcast. I need to pull a clip up back in 2017. When I first got to LA, I went to the Comedy Store, signed up for his podcast, got on, did a 1-minute spot, did fairly well, and then they roasted me afterwards. It was dope. But now all these people coming out regretting because it went, everybody's talking about it. It was on Netflix. It wasn't attached to like the mainstream media outlets like, ABC, CBS. It went on Netflix and went crazy. And now it's almost like there's a media battle where people talking about they regretted, they wish they would have did this, affected my kids. It was just like they trying to do damage control because some of the things that was said in the podcast. If you haven't, not podcast, the roast, if you haven't seen the roast of Tom Brady, please watch it. It's one of the funniest and best roasts I've ever seen, no matter what you see in the media now with everybody talking against it. And I don't understand why Nikki Glaser is is the go-to person to talk about the roast. Yeah, that's him. I just didn't want to say that first word. That dude, I was on his show in LA. Hilarious. I did a 1 minute stand-up and then it was a roast back and forth. That roast is one of the best. So don't pay attention to what you see in the news where they trying to say they regret. It was one of the best that I've ever seen. It's hilarious. And I don't understand why Nikki Glazier is the go-to person asking her, what are your thoughts? What were the roasts you didn't use? What do you think happened? And, you know, she got up and said that Ben Affleck didn't prepare because his was kind of weak. Look, Ben Affleck is dealing with J-Lo. He's not going to be able to prepare. She's insane. You can look at that whole situation, man. I really feel like she's one of those people that'll probably never be happy and never be content. Because when you reach a certain level, this is the definition of a chemical imbalance. When your serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, and endorphins are very low. When those four things are very low, you don't feel joy, you don't feel happy, you don't feel content. And there's certain things that you can do to charge your dopamine. Like for me, I got an ice tub in my house. I jump in the ice tub in the morning. That charges my dopamine and endorphins. Crossing off something on your to-do list, that releases endorphins and dopamine. You know what I'm saying? You could take serotonin pills to go to sleep at night, but good sleep makes sure that you're, you know what I'm saying? And reducing the amount of alcohol intake you have, that keeps your endorphins and oxytocin and serotonin levels up high. But if you participate in these things, it keeps it low. So you can see that chemical imbalance in certain people. And those people, they're not going to be consistent and happy in certain relationships and friendships, man. Got to be careful, dog. You know what I'm saying? So who y'all got in the playoffs? Oh, I want to say this last thing. Use your job to fund or invest in your dreams and what you love. Keep your bills low. So I tell my kids, man, if you got a job, but you also got a side hustle you're real passionate about, use your job to fund your side hustle. When that side hustle is paying, you making just as much on that as your job, then you can quit. But why use your job to get a bunch of car notes? And why? And go into debt by going on a bunch of vacations. And why would you use your job for that? Now, this is for my people who got a side hustle, who there's something else you really want to do that you're passionate about. Now there are people who just content with working a job, providing for their family. They want to retire at 55, 60 or whenever. I'm not talking to you. And I'm not mad at you if that's your journey, because everybody else got everybody got their own journey. But if you're the kind of person where you got this side hustle you've been chipping away at, you want to write a book or whatever, you really trying to work at it, why are you spending all your money on car notes and trips? And why? Invest in yourself, man. I get a nice car. That Jaguar that I had, acting and comedy paid for that. I'm not buying nothing super dope unless my gift is paying for it. And if my gift can't pay for it, I'm driving a shooter. It don't even matter to me. I'll pull up in a minivan with a passenger side all dented up. You know what I'm saying? 3-4 colors. I drive whatever because it's like I'm working on something. Talk about me all you want. I don't have to look sweet when I pull up because I'm not going to make my job pay for something. Like when you see me pull up in something cold, just know my hustle bought this. So, who y'all got in the playoffs? I love what the Timberwolves is doing. Anthony Edwards is a monster. Celtics and Wolves in the finals. Celtics win it. You drunk. Celtics will never win a championship, bro. Jason Tatum is too tender. He don't have what it takes to go across to the other side. Unless he's transitioning into another gender, Jason Tatum can't do it. It's going to be Anthony Edwards all the way. T-Wolves. T-Wolves in 6. I don't think the Mavs, my brother's in Dallas now. He's a psycho Mavericks fan. He called me the other day way up. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I think the Mavs is getting ready to go down. That means two things. And I think that it's going to be T-Wolves, Celtics. T-Wolves is going to win. That's where I'm at. 1,000%. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Tap in with y'all on Thursday. So it looks like I'm going to stay consistent with this on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sometime around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's when you can expect it. If you don't get the notification live, just check Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to plug anything before I tap out? Any of y'all got some podcasts that y'all doing that y'all want me to check out? I probably won't, but it'd be good to put it in the chat. Shawnee, you still in there? When you doing your podcast? Check out the website, iamcharlienewhart.com. As soon as they release this Cadillac commercial video, I'm gonna let y'all see that, man, if they don't flag it. Come through there. Come through. Get your opinion. Get your outlook on life. Shawnee, did you have an encounter with Percy that we need to talk about? We need to have a conversation about that, Shawnee, about P-Dog. I think P-Dog tackled you at Grandma's house. Charlie was changing the tire. I don't know, Shawnee. We got to clear it up. I think P-Life tackled you. He was wearing some little shorts, and he tackled you at Grandma's house. And then I think P-Dog had a white towel on at Grandma's house and stomped you out at the elevator. Oh, I saw P-Dog get whooped too. Don't you hit me with that switch, Frankie. I don't know. I think you was on the ground and P-Dog had a white towel on. He was giving you everything you needed, Johnny. We're going to have to talk about that when you come on the show. This is my cousin, Shawnee, my first cousin. We just having dialogue right now that only her and I understands. But I really think P-Life had that white towel on, giving you that work. Trying to change from Lear, warm up past. Yeah, man, don't get no car notes, dog. Oh, that hurts. Don't you hit me with that switch. Frank, hey, no. If I had a nickel for every nipple I pinched, I'd be a rich man, Charlie. All love. Hey, I Conquistador, yeah, hit me. I do want to get with you on the graphics piece, man. Yeah, Rob from Flint, if you're really trying to get in the game, bro, just write every day. You know what I did for a while? I want to get back into it. I would keep a notebook and a pen at my kitchen table with a glass of water right next to it. And I would set my alarm for 3 a.m. because some of our greatest ideas is as soon as we get out of the bed. So I set my alarm at 3 a.m. I'd wake up, sit at the table, and just write, at least for 10, 15 minutes, nonstop. I wouldn't censor myself. I wouldn't try to have great writing or grammatical. Anything that comes to mind, I put it on the paper and then go back to sleep. You wake up or sometime during the day, read what you wrote on that paper. Insane, dog. Did you say honey? Charlie bought Puff used towel from that video in that auction. Jay Adams. Hey, that video was insane, dog. I know people ain't surprised. Puff's a weirdo. And 50 Cent tried to tell everybody Dog was a weirdo for years and nobody believed him. And as soon as it became public opinion, now everybody like, yeah, he's doing it. That's why I hate about society right now sometimes. People don't believe nothing until it's public opinion. Oh, come on, man. Gotta wait till it's public opinion before you speak up about something, before you get on the bandwagon. We so bandwagony. When I saw how Puff did his artists back in the day, I stopped listening to him a long time ago, dog. When I saw that Rick Ross wasn't who he said he was a corrections officer, and especially when he came to Detroit and lied and said that he never showed up to Shane Park. When I was there, I saw he said he wasn't. I'm like, man, all these lies, and he stole somebody's whole identity. I just stopped listening to his music. I don't need popular opinion. I'm not gonna support your art if I don't believe you, dog. Yeah, that was foul what Diddy did, man. Straight up foul. So, man, check out the website. We bamboozled by the entertainment industry to aspire to something that's not real. It looks like their life is perfect. Facts. It's not real. A lot of people are winning off being consistent. I talked about this in the previous episode. If you're just consistent at something over and over and over again, it's a biblical law. Diligent hands bear rule. If you keep working at something, in all labor there's profit. You keep working at something, you'll get rewarded. The problem is, it's like art and a person, it's kind of two different things. A person is creating the art. We fall in love with the art, but who they are as a person. But sometimes if who they are as a person behind the scenes is a super, super creep. Dog making a song, age ain't nothing but a number. He out here dropping yellow on minors. Why would you? Now, I ain't gonna lie, man. Some of R. Kelly's music was fire, but after a while, I was like, I don't know if I can continue to listen to Dog, man. I don't know. Because one thing about music for sure is whatever that person is dealing with, the spirit of whatever they're dealing with is coming out through their music and into the room and into where you at. And if you ain't got a strong spiritual conscience, you liable to be affected to whatever they dealing with. A lot of this music is demonic, man. I don't want to get all into that because everybody don't understand what I'm talking about. But if you understand, you understand. Dirtbag book is on the next tail flip. The I Am Dirtbag book is going on my website this week. I am Charlie Newhart in the next couple of days. All I got to do is put the link back up. But I mean, maybe it'll bless you. I wrote it during the pandemic. I just started creating crazy art, writing books, doing podcasts, doing videos. I met a lot of great people in that season, man, and we put on some dope shows. So he made a Chocolate Factory album and called himself the Pied Piper. Man, he was wild for that. Straight up wild. Hey, man, I had a good time. I love y'all because I love myself.